watch what we do. The things we say, not allowed on YouTube. Reality stars, reality stars. You know who we are. Reality stars.
That's right. It's time for another episode of Reality Czars with your host, Nate and Thomas, the paranoid motherfucking American. This show is full of highly opinionated, offensive, and outright degenerate commentary. Proceed at your own risk and welcome to the Reality Czars.
And we're live. Welcome, everybody. This is Reality Czars Podcast, and we are hosts tonight, Nate and Thomas, the paranoid motherfucking American.
Watch your motherfucking mouth.
Tonight, we got Gray Pill on. But I don't even know. God damn it. What the fuck's it? Jules. Is that what you go by?
Yeah, bro.
Okay.
Jules. Short for Julian.
Julian. All right. You know, that's my son's name. My 16-year-old son's name. It's a good name.
Wow.
Fucking A.
Synchronicities, bro.
Synchronicities, buddy.
Syncing up already.
Gray Pill, brother. We've been talking a little bit on the Instagrams for a while, and I'm glad we hooked up. We're linking up.
You too, dude.
And are we popping your podcast cherry right now?
You are popping my proverbial cherry.
Nate just has like a trail of like podcaster ooze from all the cherries he's popped.
It's true, dude. I popped a lot of cherries in this game, and
Amen.
your hymen is officially dead. So
Well,
you are
thank
on the Reality Czars.
I am blessed and honored to be here. I have no idea.
Fucking A, brother. Tell everybody where they can find you. What's your handle? And you are going to be starting your own show here pretty soon with your lovely wife.
Yeah, man. Gray Pilled. I'm only on YouTube and Instagram right now. I'll have a Rockfin and I have my Spotify. But just Gray Pill Podcast on YouTube, Gray Pilled _ podcast on Instagram, and I have a lot of shit lined up. So I mean, I have like at least up to a good 10 episodes lined out. I just have to make sure I have all my ducks in a row, But yeah, dude, I'm super excited to finally get it started. I've really been wanting to do it for like the past year. Just been busy as shit, life, and we've had a lot going on. So
Fucking A, dude.
it's finally time to get the ball rolling. So
there's fucking advice that people will give you, and a lot of it is good, but I think probably the best thing to do is just do it. Like
right.
Me and my co-host, the original co-host on the show, Tony, who's, I don't know, occasionally he'll come on, like maybe once every 6 months
Tony.
we can get him to show up. Yeah. But like when we started this, like we were using Anchor, and we didn't even know we could use the fucking computer. Anyways, we were doing it over the phone. We were just like talking on the phone, and it recorded, and the audio quality was terrible. And we would just spend hours
putting it out.
Facebook, just talking shit. Like we were just having a conversation over the phone about wild shit.
That sounds like a great time, man.
Oh, dude, it was a blast. It was an absolute fucking blast. And now we're schizos with tinfoil hats on, and now people can watch us live. It's we started from the bottom, and we're still somewhere near the bottom.
There's nothing wrong with that, dude. Yeah, man, I've always been kind of a do-it-yourself. Like growing up, I played in a lot of hardcore punk bands and stuff. I play the drums, and I started playing bass during COVID. I just bought a bass and just started kind of learning. But I had rapped for a little bit throughout the years, and so I've always been about being at the bottom, starting from the bottom. I think it's the best way to learn how to do anything, why, I'm glad y'all are having me on here. For me, just reaching out to y'all. A lot of people, you'll either have to like have a podcast or have a following or, have a certain, and y'all were real as fuck with me, especially Thomas. Like I just messaged Thomas and he just, we've been corresponding for the past like 3 or 4 months. And like, that's like, that meant a lot to me at the time. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all doing this a lot.
I only respond to super schizos. So.
I figured, dude. I was like, something's not right here, man.
So you're in the super schizo club.
And but no, dude, and like the shit that Thomas does, like all the merch he puts out, dude, like is the fucking best in the conspiracy game, dude. Like no one has better shit than you, bro. And I agree. Random people at work or random people be like, "What's that sticker? Oh, that's cool looking." You know what I mean? Like, but bro, I mean, I'm more than happy to support what y'all do and what you do as far as, with your comics and all that stuff, man. Like, I just love that shit. So,
fucking
hell yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
So
you're
let's
doing
get
a lot
into
for the community. That's how I feel. It's like
Thomas
no one else is really doing that but you. So
Thomas is a professional propagandist paid in rubles by Russia, and he's fucking doing the Lord's work.
Trained by the best, man. The best in the biz.
Hey, man, it has to be sometimes. But yeah, dude. No, I'm happy to be on here. Dive down into some fucking rabbit holes with y'all, and make it do what it do.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, this show we talk to. I think that's what makes this show fun. Is that well, the last couple of weeks we've only been talking about one thing, but we talk about anything and everything. So, like one time, like we've had people come on and talk about like spectral sexual experiences that they've had. We've had folks come on about like talk about werewolves and all kinds of interesting experiences they had, and all kind portholes and all kinds of stuff coming in and out of them. But then we also have like serious folks come on and talk, about political things and this, that, and the other, or just the nature of reality. And you were spitballing some ideas with us, and you were talking a little bit about what you were researching and where you want to get started, man. Where do you want to get into this?
Oh, dude. Well, I started getting more into like ancient civilizations and stuff. I started getting into the Anunnaki, but like getting into more of the archetypes of these, deities talked about in these stories, because you find them in every ancient story. You feel me? So I don't think people know really, a lot of people are afraid of the devil or Satan, but it's like, okay, if you read the book of Enoch, he refers to Satans, there being multiple Satans. Satan, like I told, we were kind of talking earlier, Satan means adversary. So I think there are a few like just low level fucking dark entities that feed off of our fear. And I think you can find like the origin of where they come from in these Sumerian stories and stuff. The thing that I love about it is when you look at it from like a physical, like they walked on earth, not so much as they were just spiritual and people saw them only while they were, eating mushrooms on the side of the mountain.
Although I think that there is something to that as well.
There definitely is something to that. But when you read like the Lost Book of Enki, or it's referred to in the tablets as Enki and the World Order, and just like the conversations they have, or like just the family incest and drama, is like one of the greatest like things you could ever read. It's just like, holy shit, these people like were really fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
one of my favorite stories out of the old, what do you call it? Like the Old Testament, I guess.
yeah,
Was that in? Maybe I was still in Genesis because I don't think that was in Exodus yet. Is when like Lot and he was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and God like smited Sodom and Gomorrah because they were being super homo and trying to fuck angels and shit, and they were trying to get some like angel beehole.
yeah, they were like, bring
God
the
was like,
men out and let us have sex with them. Yeah,
And so, and like God was cool with like Lot saying like, you can fuck my virgin daughters. They were like, yeah, just don't butt fuck my angels. You guys are trying. That's it. Reset. So God comes and smites them, turns it all to glass.
yeah.
Because God's base. He's like, Yahweh was like, no way, and just smote those motherfuckers. And his horrible wife turns around and like looks at it because she was kind of like, I wanted to get butt fucked by an angel. And so God went, wah! And that bitch turned into a pillar of salt. And so now they're just wandering around in the desert and they're like, oh no, our people are going to fucking like, we're it. There's nobody left. And so his horny skank daughters were like, let's get daddy drunk and fuck him tonight. And that's kind of where Israel came from. Like the people of God, they're like, if they hadn't, they're like, all right, let's get daddy real drunk. And they start slobbing his arm and fucking him. And he cream pies his daughter while he's hammered. And this is where we get God's chosen people. So
You're right.
Which chapter was that from in the Bible?
I should look this up real fast. This is straight up out of Genesis, dude.
It's Genesis.
I remember reading it going like, wait, what?
It's before 33. I'm pretty sure Genesis 33 because, dude, I actually just read Genesis.
Of course it's fucking 33.
Oh, yeah, dude. No, one of the most, okay, dude, the craziest thing that I found while reading Genesis. All right, so in Genesis 32, Jacob, so I guess this was after Sodom and Gomorrah. Jacob finds a man, basically, and wrestles with him. And it talks about him touching, his hip bone and all that. He names the spot where he saw the face of God and wrestled with him Peniel, Piniel. Peniel. I mean, it basically tells you right there in Genesis 32, the last verse, he saw the face of God. And then right into 33, it's like he was reborn or something. Like he went and met his brother Esau again. Like, I don't know. It's it made me, turn back a couple times and be like, wait a minute. Peniel. I don't know. It's just cool fucking seeing that, just reading it, I never really
where the
read.
name of the people, that's where Israel came from, to wrestle with God, to
Really?
fight with God. Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew it was an acronym for the ISIS Ra El, just like the Genesis, the generation of ISIS, or which goes back to, if you read
Ra El. Yeah, that's interesting too. Yeah.
ISIS Ra El. If you go back and read, the Lost Book of Enki or whatever, you see that it's two of Enlil's sons that burned Sodom and Gomorrah. And while they're doing it, they're like cackling and laughing and seeing who can kill more people, basically. It's Ninurta and Nergal.
So they were just playing like a cosmic game of Smear the Queer.
Yes.
They were like,
let's see how many of these tags we can kill. You know what I mean? Like that. And
bring Enki and Enlil back. Like they need to smoke like San Francisco and Portland.
Yeah, dude. No, they would definitely. The funny thing is you would have all those people worshiping them, and they'd be like, yeah, y'all go first, But dude, yeah, I mean, it's two of Enlil's sons that that's
does it go into any depth about? Does it talk about the angels that were down there that were trying to get buggered?
In the Bible or in?
Well, because you're making the connection of like Sodom and Gomorrah being like wiped out, right, by Enki and Enlil, and like that story in the Bible talks about how like an angels of the Lord came down and fucking and like wiped it out. which is
Yeah.
it's fascinating hearing that because maybe that's Inky and Enlil's little cousins or something that are down
No,
there.
no,
They're supposed to be little angels.
That's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the two angels who supposedly had come down with God. You know, 3 of them came down. One of them was the incarnation of God, which that would have been Enlil probably. His 2 sons.
Tiffany, we just got started. You're good. Welcome, Tiffany.
His 2 sons, Nergal or Hades, Pluto, and Ninurta, who's his oldest son, who he had with his sister, actually. Inky had kids with his sister too. That both their sister, I guess. But yeah, man, if you were to look at it, it would be like, oh, then that means the sons of Enlil are Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, oh, well, fuck, that's scary.
It's interesting, man.
Gabriel being, and I heard this on My Family Thinks I'm Crazy podcast the other day. Mark had on this one guy who wrote this book. It's crazy how, like, I guess it was yesterday at work when I listened to it. Dude's talking about, his book's called Pantheon 1, The Golden Vein. And like, I was like, wow, he's talking about all this shit. And then like Isaac had a podcast the other day where he's talking about the Book of Enoch. It's just weird how it's the same week that I'm coming on here, But the guy who he had on was talking about how, both Enlil and Inky both had kids who were pieces of shit. Inky, especially, so the angels that fell, the Ajiji, or the worker Anunnaki, they were like lesser Anunnaki. They lived on Mars, which was like the way station to get gold to Nibiru. And Marduk, Inky's oldest son, and this is he's Merodach in the Bible. This is Bel, Azazel, in my opinion. Baal-zebul, because if you look at the Phoenician bloodline or the Phoenician, Canaanite pantheon, you have Baal-hadad, which is lines up to Ishkur, which is, I think, the youngest son of Enlil. But Marduk is Baal-zebul, which later translates to Beelzebub or Baal-zebub. He was the first one to get married to an earth woman. And then Samyaza, or Samael, Shamgaz, that's what he was referred to in the Sumerian tablets. He brings the 200 down there to Marduk's wedding with actually a daughter of Enoch named Sarpank. Maybe later translated as Sarah or something. I don't know, because you had Sarai and that became Sarah. So they came down and they were like, dude, look at these fucking women, like, I'm gonna get me a hole. You know what I mean? And they did, dude. And it talks about them sinning against reptiles, birds, beasts, and all that stuff. And obviously that's where we get our cryptids. Inky was known as the scientist. If he manipulated DNA to make Homo sapiens sapien, it talks about it. And this is one of the first things I talked to Thomas about when we first started to correspond with each other, was it talks in the Lost Book of Inky about him doing these like lab experiments and being like, the first one was covered with matted fur and could only grunt. What does that sound like? Sasquatch, right? Then it talks about one whose semen wouldn't stop dripping, and one who had no eyes, one who had no liver, like all these like what if that's just like a fucking rake on the side, like with no liver, just like screaming in the woods in pain because he doesn't have a liver, or like his semen won't stop dripping. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to look at it from that point of view, but you know, the Nephilim had kids and they had kids. You had the Nephil, and then they had the Elho, Eljo, but yeah. And they were all forced to eat each other, you know, and the Watchers had to watch all their children eat each other. So basically,
And I think about the story of Saturn, right? Of Kronos and him
Yeah.
eating children and things like that. Yeah, dude, it's so fucking fascinating, dude. I do think about all these different stories, and I think about these different supposed gods and or demigods and or angels or whatever the fuck they were or are, and how their relationship with the earth used to be very physical, and they were
Right.
just like we used to see them all the time, and they were just known, right? And so I think about it now as far as like when did either they disappear, did they leave, did they disappear, did they just fuck into us and so they disappeared that way, did we defeat them and kill them, or are they still around and they learn to kind of hide in the shadows? And that's kind of where sometimes I kind of go with. I kind of think that these people are still around. I think there's still some fucking dark bloodlines. I think that they don't mind us having the idea of who we think is in charge. Like we look at the Rothschilds, we're like, the Rothschilds are definitely the ones in charge. They're the fucking head of the snake. And then like, oh well, look at Klaus Schwab and look at fucking Bill Gates and look at all these these dildos and you know, and like, well, what about the Black Pope? What about the Gray Pope? What about the 13 dark Illuminati families? But what if there's something much more bigger or sinister or powerful than that?
right.
Are there things that are still extraterrestrial in a way? Like,
Well,
I
dude,
don't know, man.
yeah. I mean, if you read about Thoth, who was a son of Enki, he was actually younger brother of Marduk, and Marduk tried to kill him like twice. They had two pyramid wars, and that's when apparently Enki sent Thoth, or his name was Ningajita. It's probably one of the longest Anunnaki names you're gonna find, but sends him to South America, and he kickstarts the whole you know, Aztec Mayan thing. But he talks about the halls of Amenti. Basically, I think it is a place under the Sphinx or somehow under the Great Pyramid. And in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he describes it as a place where he goes to rest for 1,000 years, 100,000 years, however long, and then he can walk with men again on the surface, basically in another avatar body. Now, who's to say he's not doing this for every member of his family? You know, I mean, we can look at the Anunnaki and say good, evil, you know what. But really, I mean, I think they were all kind of fucked up in some way, and they were all kind of maybe benevolent in some way. I'm sure there were some that were just, you know, pieces of shit. Like when we talk about Marduk, I mean, dude killed his youngest brother, you know, Tammuz, the shepherd. He was Enki's youngest son, and he was in love with Ishtar. You know, I mean, dude, she's a whore, dude. I mean, honestly, she had a sex chamber in the sky, and like dudes would fuck her and die the next morning, and she would just be like, oh well, you know, like, you know. But Marduk basically saw that they were in love, and since he was criticized so much for marrying an Earth woman and basically like banned from like, I'm pretty sure they bound him. When it talks about in Enoch, they bound Azazel in sin. They basically put Marduk in the pyramid, it talks about, and like bind him. I don't know if like an alchemical spell maybe, or like some kind of fucking technology or some shit we have no idea exists. And Thoth had to go in there. Enki was like crying, begging him to go free Marduk, you know, because you know, they're still family in the end, fucked up family, but you know, and so Marduk basically like is exiled, and he sees his youngest brother and his cousin Ishtar or Inanna. Actually, oh yeah, I guess it would be like his second cousin or something. It's real fucked up, dude. Like Marduk's sister married Ishtar's dad. Nanarsin, Marduk's sister being Ningal, like one of the only daughters of Enki. Enki had sex with all of his daughters, by the way. So there's that. That's where you get, I think, like all the inbred elite bloodlines. Maybe somehow all come from that, but Marduk basically saw them in love with each other and got their half sister to go and give Tammuz like some kind of elixir or potion to where he had sex with this chick, and then when he woke up she was like, hey, you raped me. And him being like, you know, like what it seemed like a good guy, or you know, in love with his cousin, he was all happy, all right. He goes and basically, what I think, they sent the Lilu wind spirits to chase him, and he basically jumped off a fucking cliff, and he was one of the only Anunnaki that suffered like a physical death. To where they had to probably go find his soul in some other fucking dimension far away to like bring him back. Because I mean, that's like what you were saying, like, did we kill them? I don't think so. I mean, dude, I think they incarnated all the way up to Norse pantheon. And then after that, it kind of went back down to, you know, Germany and England and all that. And then they started probably to come into contact with these banking families in Italy, you know. I mean, can we say names on here?
We can say anything we want, buddy.
You know, you have, you know, Orsini and Aldobrandini and the whole Venetian banking bloodlines. That then you also have like, you know, the Habsburgs and the Rothschilds, and I mean, there's to just
Dude,
say.
I saw a bitch the other day. She had a full Habsburg. I was like, God damn, bitch! Like, you don't see that very often. I was like,
Dude, it but I think that that's definitely what happened, is that it was probably, you know, Marduk, or like, you know, we have Beelzebub. He was also in Egypt. This is what it says also in the Lost Book of Enki. He was in Egypt as well as Ra. Now, I don't know if this is like the Amun Ra that, like, you know, some occultists talk about, or theosophists talk about, or like the law of one Ra. You know what I mean? You know what I mean,
Yeah.
Thomas?
You're talking Mum-Ra?
Huh?
Mum-Ra?
No, like you know the book, The Law of One?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know how it's like coming from a place of love and everything, but then you have Marduk being translated as you know, Ra in these stories, and how his children were Osiris, Set, and Horus or Horon being his grandson. Also in the Sumerian text, it talks about Semyaza or Shamgai's daughters being Nephthys and Isis. Now, I think Isis was just the archetype term to describe, I think her name was Asta. I think Isis was also Ishtar at one time. She was also Ninmah, the sister of Enki and Enlil. So I think that archetype was incarnated by, you know, different entities over time.
I'm going to piss people off, but I think Isis is also, the worship of Isis was definitely put on Mother Mary, and that's why I don't think we ever stopped worshiping Isis. I think
like
that
I talk about the Genesis, the generation of Isis, you know. Yeah, dude, and it talks in the story about, you know, them basically working together. Like, so Marduk's sons basically killed each other. When I first was reading about it, like, you know, I couldn't help but like feel bad for him, maybe, like, you know, at a point, like, fuck, dude, this guy's getting like, you know, exiled from this land and all his kids are fucking dead, you know, they're all fucking each other. And, you know, then you have, you know, I mean, if you look at it from the Bel and Baal point of view, and you have this whole cult of Baal thing that's kind of coming out now, and like I was talking about, Baal is Zebul because Baal means Lord, right? So like you have Baal Hamad or Baal Hadad, Baal Haman, Baal Zebul, Lord of, you know, that's the Lord of the Flies. You know, one of his like symbols was the fly, you know. That's the whole Beelzebub thing.
Well, that was a derogatory term towards him too, because there was people saying like your God is the God of the shit.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, if he was here physically as a, you know, 14-foot tall being, you know, I mean, he probably wasn't that good of a guy either. You know what I mean? I mean, probably fucked more shit up in the material world than the spiritual world. I mean, in my opinion, if I was some fucking like fallen a Gigi demigod that, you know, already fell, dude, oh, I'd be like wreaking havoc, wrecking shop.
Would you tell us if you were?
Huh?
Would you tell us if you were a fallen god?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, fair.
Nah, dude, I'd totally tell you.
I tell people and they wouldn't believe me.
Exactly. That's what would happen. I don't know. Thomas may believe me.
I feel like if I was a god, I would just be killing people left and right. Because what are you going to do about it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'd be a little too much to probably handle, man. I mean, you look at people who play
I'd be solving problems left and right.
That too. You could look at it from that point of view, but I mean, you have people playing video games who you kind of
one might say that's what governments are doing right now. They're killing people left and right, and they're solving problems, right? I don't know, dude. I mean, it's like it's problems from their perspective, and what is their actual agenda? Like maybe like as people that live inside of this country, we look at it like governments doing terribly stupid fucking things, but like,
right?
Who's to say they have our fucking best interest in mind ever, anyways? So
they never fucking do, man.
They never fucking do.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
it seems like they're killing it, dude. Like, what do they want? Like, they want to like rape, fuck, and eat kids, and it seems like they're doing it with impunity.
Yeah.
So, like,
and it's like,
hashtag winning, Tiger Blood, right? It's like they're doing their thing right now, dude.
Yeah, and they're putting it out in the open. I mean, you have, half, you know, of the fucking population knows about it, you know, but hardly anybody speaking out against it, or, you know, they're too comfortable in their little, you know, reality bubble. They can't exit it, or it hurts. You know what I mean? I mean, it hurt the first wake up, dude. I mean, probably, you know, I remember when my wife, well, back when we were dating, she showed me Bohemian Grove in like 2012. I was like 19 or so, dude.
That's a keeper.
Oh, dude, I couldn't fucking believe it. I was just like, what, who's there? And she's like, all the fucking leaders. I was like, wait, what? And then, you know, once I started, like I told you, Nate, once Trump became president, and like, I don't know, it seems like stuff was kind of more available to look into, or people were talking about it more. It's like overnight, you know, like used to, you would have to find these conspiracy videos with robot voices talking about people like seeing celebrities in hell and, you know, real weird shit, you know, and you're just like, oh, that's weird, you know. Or like I don't know, just from what I can remember, you know, back when they weren't rampant on YouTube with conspiracy videos, like you really had to look for them. Like you had to type in the certain words. Like there wasn't, and there was damn sure no chance of it just showing up in your suggested watch videos. Like,
well, definitely by 2015, 2016, they had fucking put a fucking lock on that shit. If you were looking for us psychos in like 2000, you could find more of us.
There was a lot of it on Google Video too.
Yeah.
Remember Google Video?
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. And I mean, we really just progressed with it because TikTok's nothing new, man. I mean, we used to have Vine. You know what I mean? It just wasn't as.
All I was gonna say is, man, is like what you're saying right now is because like you and I before we started recording, you were saying that nowadays you can find every kind of fucking conspiracy on earth on TikTok right now, and it's like it's funny to me the voices that are promoted and then the voices that are hard to find, right? So there's people that are constantly getting fucking strikes, getting taken down, deplatformed, and then and then there's the fucking folks that are like fucking promoted and talked about and like that are allowed to say wild shit with impunity, and you're just kind of like, I don't know. To me, those conspiracies, like it's very much so that like the mainstream and the whatever the fuck it is, like the Jew stream media, whatever you want to call it, whatever the fucking psychos are, whatever it is, they don't give a shit if there's a bunch of wild disinformation out there because they want as many fucking wild voices going in any single direction because they don't care what you're looking at as long as you're not looking at the actual truth. As long as you're not a fucking threat, they don't get like I'm gonna get in trouble and people are gonna yell at me. I can talk about flat Earth all day and people aren't going to care. I can start talking about like, I can start pointing at all these wild directions. When I was talking about like Bigfoot, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's shutting down my fucking shit about Bigfoot. I still believe in Bigfoot. Don't get me wrong, but people don't. Bigfoot isn't threatening the establishment. Flat Earth isn't. Well, maybe it is. If it is fucking flat and there is actual fucking like if there is continents outside of Antarctica, there is a weird reason why they're hiding in Antarctica. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. And
it's
like, you know what I'm saying? There are certain fucking things that you're allowed to fucking say and you're allowed to fucking scream about it and you're allowed to fucking talk about how birds aren't real. I don't believe in some birds, but you're allowed to fucking say all that kind of wild shit. But when you start like actually saying some shit that fucking hits a nerve, that's when they're shutting your ass down. When you actually start speaking truth. So they want a bunch of people to get all goofy and they want a bunch of people to talk. And here I am wearing a fucking tinfoil hat and being a schizo, but still, when you start fucking hitting those fucking facts, dude, that's when they get fucking mad.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, it's a constant, output of info. Like what I was saying, how do you have time to process one of these things and look into it further when you have something, that completely contradicts this one conspiracy that you're looking into next, and you believe in both of them because you haven't done the research on the one to be able to figure out the contradiction between them. You know what I mean? I mean, it just I don't know. I mean, just people out there just learning stuff from TikTok, not really going to read any books or listen to any podcast. Well,
that's right, dude. They want it in little bits and snippets. That's where they've kind of like, that's where they've gotten people's attention. They've fucked with us so much that like, if it's not in a tiny little snippet like this, then they get bored. Like, God forbid you read an article.
Yeah.
God forbid, people aren't even fucking reading an article, let alone a goddamn book.
Right.
You can't even watch a documentary anymore. Like, motherfuckers are like, I need it in 15 seconds or less. And put that stupid bitch's voice, blah, 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 blah. What's that TikTok slut's voice? Like the one that fucking will just tell you the dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, I need it in dumb robot slut voice. And you need to tell it to me in 15 seconds. And I need point by point. And it's goofball bullshit.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing that you've seen with that app, especially, is how many just fucking fucked people there are, man. Like, not people that are probably good people just having fun and like possibly embarrassing themselves, but just like fucking weirdos, dude. Like, that should be like not online. Like, you should not, like, no.
Well, they shouldn't be on Earth. This is when, when we were saying make Enki and Enlil great again, when I'm talking about like people wearing like cat ears and they're shoving a fucking dildo with a tail on the end of it up their ass and they're fucking going meow 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 and they fucking want to have like they want to make like, litter boxes like
Yeah, sitting in litter boxes in the classroom.
Meow meow
Oh
meow.
man. Yeah, dude. It's something out there, man. I'm telling you, I'm thankful, dude. Here in fucking Mississippi, man, there's not that much like, you know, woke shit. I mean, but at the same
We
time,
love you, Tiffany. She says, "Don't make fun of furries
make
either."
fun
I
of
identify as a cat.
I mean, there's no one here that's into like any of this kind of stuff, dude. Like only a couple people that I know that, you know, may know about a couple things, but like,
You know what's funny though, Great Pill, is that like I think that there's always been degenerates like, and I was a degenerate in my younger life. I can't talk shit. Right now, I'm drinking a Four Loko. This is degenerate as fuck. But I do think about this like back in the day when we made bullying like regular, when you couldn't be a fucking freak on the streets, all it did was drive it underground. So it is fascinating. There was always fucking freaks. Thomas, who was the head of the fucking FBI? What the fuck was his name? The original fuck
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. Wait, he was like a drag queen tranny. All kinds of degenerate sex and
well, because there's like a very real dynamic. The people that have the most to hide figure out ways to put themselves in the positions to like keep it hidden or get dirt on other people, because that's the world that they live in, is in like this world of like secrets and shadows.
Right.
Well, and so like maybe that was even the original reason for some secret societies and secret clubs, is because everything was so conservative in the fucking like you had to be like straight laced. Like we've talked about, you got to be an Eve in the streets, but a Lilith in the sheets. You know what I mean? Like where it's like they were like straight up like, you know, they're being Plymouth Rock motherfuckers here, but like when they close the doors, they don't fuck through a sheet. They butt fuck and they go hard. You know what I mean? And so like maybe that was what the whole thing with secret societies was. You know, like how many people were like put to death like in the New World, like Plymouth or like Thomas, what are those motherfuckers called? People that came here, the
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims, but there was another word for them.
The Quakers,
but anyways, whatever the fuck they were. How many of those people got put to death because they were fucking animals? There was a shit ton of them. Like, so there's always been fucking freaks. And so is it better now that it's out in the mainstream, or does it make things more extreme now? Because Thomas, we've talked about this in the past too, where back in the day, they used to be able to blackmail you for being gay. They used to be able to blackmail you for cheating on your wife. Now people just openly cheat on their wife, or
now that's like
I butt fuck people inside of the government buildings, like those fucking whoever that fucking was, that congressional aide that was getting butt fucked, and like, you know what I mean? Like that shit is not even like he quit, I guess, but he doesn't give a fuck, and like, you know what I'm saying? So now it's like it's getting darker and fucking darker because like everything's acceptable. And so now like what is secret society shit? What's blackmailable? Right. You gotta be doing some real dark shit to be blackmailable now.
I mean, do you think like he just got caught getting fucked in the ass, or do you think that like they set the camera up to like for a butt fucking just to happen?
Well, dude, I hope they can afford some good cameras. I hope it was in 4K. I haven't seen the video. Maybe they got like a good fucking, like his balls swinging like this, clapping. Like, I hope there was some, I hope they got a good shot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, hold on. So did this happen? Where did this happen again?
At Washington, D.C., inside of like, I think like the House of Congress. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it's like the House of God or whatever the fuck. It's all fucking big words. Thomas, can you look that shit up? Where the fuck did that happen?
I'm at a loss of what you're trying to pull up.
You got gay stuff in Congress House.
This seriously happened just like not that long ago. This happened. I think it was like in the House of Congress or whatever the fuck it is. The House, whatever they fucking call that. There was a congressional aide, House of Representatives, whatever it is. He was working for them, and he got caught making pornos. And I think that there was like congressmen participating in this, like butt fucking this dude, and this just got like. This just came out. No, not the ball slapping. That's what Tiffany says. I don't know, man, but it's fascinating to me. Of course, it was Democrats because that's what Democrats do, but Republicans too.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
dude. And I mean, when the
Yeah,
whole
where the
social
gay guy
justice
made the
warrior,
porn for like 8 seconds inside the Capitol. Yeah,
when the whole social justice warrior thing became big, dude, like growing up, I was a liberal, like I was, do what you want to do, just don't fuck, don't hurt others, don't fuck kids. Feel me? Like, and like as I got older and had kids and got a career and became an adult, I realized like, oh wow, like what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Like I stayed the same, but it's
yeah.
like everything like that I grew
Well,
up knowing.
we
just
were
got
naive, man, because
We-
I feel you, dude. I was left of center, I thought, because I was just like pro liberty. Like I thought that's what it meant to be a liberal. And I thought that anybody should be able to kind of do what they wanted if it wasn't going to hurt someone else. But then you realize that everything that people do and that is like accepted in mainstream society affects culture at large, and that
Yeah.
nothing happens in a vacuum. And then like accepting gay marriage and accepting like that like furries should be able to get butt fucked in the Capitol affects culture, and that like now like we should it did like, dude, there is a fucking like ball rolling downhill, and like now we're seeing like where if you don't accept your kid being a tranny, the state can take your fucking kid away. Like it starts to become this fucking wild fucking thing. And it's like you look at the old conservative ladies from the 80s and they were fucking right. They're like,
Right.
all right, so like gay men, that's fine. Maybe we shouldn't let them get married in public. Maybe we should just let them fuck in clubs and let them have fun. Like maybe we shouldn't arrest people for being gay. Maybe we should let them be able to butt fuck and do whatever they want. But the second that we kind of like let them get the foot in the door,
Yeah.
where the fuck is it going to end? Because I don't see a fucking end to this. It's
Well,
pretty
dude, like-
fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Like they're getting me more and more fucking wild and right wing when I didn't want to be.
Right.
I
No.
was neutral, dude. I didn't have a fucking problem. I don't want to be a
Exactly.
fucking
It's like, I'm not a
nut job.
conservative, bro. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, dude, no, you're fucking speaking my language, man. No, like, dude, so like, even like older gay people, they're not.
Yeah, they
cool
don't
with
play
that
with this shit.
They hate it. They're like, we
I got
fought
homegirls.
for
I got
marriage for how
homegirls that
many
are
years?
lesbos because I work in kitchens. I've worked in kitchens my whole life, and I've worked with some bold dykes, and
Yeah,
they're
dude.
bad bitches. They work in the kitchen. They're motherfuckers. They don't give a fuck. They're hard ass workers. But I
Yeah.
tell you what, they don't think trannies are fucking women. They're like,
Yeah,
that's
dude.
not a woman.
They know there's
They
two
don't
genders.
play with that shit. They're like, that's a fucking dude in a dress. They don't fuck around, dude. They are not
Yeah.
fucking woke. They want to watch football, drink a beer, and they'll punch a tranny in the face, be like, get the fuck out of my get out of my bathroom.
Yeah,
bitch.
dude.
Like they don't fuck around, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw it happen at work. Somebody went into the women's restroom and one of the ladies, she fucking let them have it, and they quit. But
The lesbo or the
riddance.
tranny.
the tranny.
Good. They're newcomers to this shit, and they know
Yeah.
they're lying. And they know
Yeah,
they're
dude.
full of shit. Like I
It's
don't
like-
honestly, I don't care if you're wearing a dress. And you know what would make this easier if we did add like a third bathroom and just call it whatever,
Yeah,
and just
yeah.
call it
The,
like
the unisex bathroom. Yeah, dude.
we just got to go back to like single stalls, single bathrooms again, I guess, and just like so you can go in there and lock the door because. Dude, I know I sound like a fucking goofball, but I don't want my daughter to go in there and some dude pull out his hog. Like,
Dude, I
"Look at
would
my
murder him."
sweet tight pussy, and he's flapping his
Dude.
cock around like.
Dude, I would come out of there with a fucking head in my hand, like covered in blood.
Well,
like,
dude, here's the thing though, is that I think that's what they fucking want.
It
Because
is.
they're pushing
It
this
is.
shit because they're trying to make violent
More
interactions.
division.
They're trying to
Yeah.
fucking They're trying to cause fucking problems because honestly, there's been like, dude, I've been to fucking drag shows. I've gone in drag,
dude. We used to go to them, and it was fun as shit.
I fucking won. I've told people this a million times on this stupid show. I won a fucking costume contest for Thomas. What is that fucking show called? What's the one where everybody goes in drag for? Thomas, what are you talking? What am I talking about? From the 80s?
Are you talking about the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. I fucking went in
I was
there.
saying it. I was muted. I was saying it.
I got on stage, I shook my nuts, spread my ass, and showed everybody my dick. And I fucking danced on stage, and I fucking won the costume contest.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I had a fucking great time. And there was nothing gay about it. Well, I mean, I don't know, it sounds pretty gay, but there was nothing gay about
it.
Well,
not that part. The after party got gay.
But like that was all in fun. But nowadays, where to me, it's the problem is when they start telling you shit like you have to fucking say 2 + 2 = 5. When you absolutely, no matter what, this is a woman. Look at her; she's always been a woman. Even when she had a cock and she was shoving it in somebody, and this person has had a kid, it's always been a woman. You know, it's fucking ridiculous, and it's new talk, and they're trying to fucking like a huge amount of young, stupid, fucking moronic people are buying into it. And to me, that's what this is all about. It's conditioning this newest generation to buy anything they say and to just be compliant and to just accept things that they know are not fucking true with their eyes. It's about them saying, like, I'm telling you 2 + 2 = 5, and you're going to repeat after me. 2 + 2 = 5. 2 + 2 = 5. Yeah. And then it's also about being divisive with the older folks. They're doing it as inflammatory and as fucking aggressively and wildly as possible so that they get us to get fucking pissed and they get us reactive. And when we're reactive, they can get us to do whatever the fuck they want. When you just react to things, when you're fucking reactive,
you act with your emotions. Yeah.
They can fuck it. That's how they're gonna get fucking false flags. That's how they got January 6th. They're gonna have more fucking things like that.
The thing about January 6th, bro, I told my wife when I was watching the fucking video, maybe it was Owen Schroyer that I was probably watching because he was there live for InfoWars, and dude, the first barrier they took down. It was as if they had done it 200, 300 times. And one of the guys taking it down had like a red, white, and blue bandana on and like a porn shit stash. No, dude, yours is beautiful. Like a shit stash. Like he looked like a member of fucking Antifa in disguise. And I look at my wife and I go, doesn't that look planned? And then, you eventually you had Ray Epps coming out, or the whole thing with him, there's some picture of him and Nancy Pelosi like a day or two earlier waving at each other or some shit. And then he's trying to get everybody to go in there and all of a sudden his name's not mentioned. And it's weird, dude. And then, Thomas had, he had the thing with the shaman on and all that. And
shout out to the CIA shaman.
Yeah,
he doesn't like you, shaman, so we'll just call him CIA shaman.
There you go. That didn't go so well.
Dude, I had an in. We probably could have got him on the show not that long ago, and it's interesting. I might consider having that psycho on the show. I'm not sure.
It's a risk, yeah, but definitely interesting, dude. But like when I saw that, I was just like, something's not right here. And then it was not very long after that I was like, dude, both sides are just fucking two sides of the same coin, two heads of the same snake, two wings of the same bird, whatever you want to say. You know what I mean? Like, do you want your country ran by satanic pedophiles, or do you want it ran by globalist Luciferians? You know what I mean?
And then you find out it's all one and the same. They're all globalist Luciferians that are pedophiles.
But if people want to pick sides, it's like, take your pick, I
mean, that's what they fucking tell you, right? But really, you're choosing between Coke and Pepsi. They all kiss the wall. Yeah. They all kiss the wall. They all wear their little tiny hats, and they all diddle fucking kids. And literally, every single one of them, they're trying to sell you what you want, your flavor of retard. So that's what democracy is. Like, what flavor of retard do you want? Like, do you want to be like, anyway?
Like how dumbed down.
One
Yeah.
talks about being like woke and like we're accepting and this and that and the other, and then the other one is just like, we hate the Mexicans and we're going to put up the wall, but I'm still going to fucking diddle your kids and I love Israel. Like it's all goofy retard. And none of them, no matter, I don't fucking care, right wing, left wing, Democrat, Republican, they're not going to close the borders. They're not going to stop the spending. They're not going to stop the wars. They're not going to stop funding Israel. And anything that you're looking for from the Democrats, Republicans, they're not going to fucking stop the woke.
They're not going to save you.
They're not going to save you. Every single one of them is using you. They're using your consent. Every time you go to the ballot box, you're consenting to them. Oh, yeah. You're consenting to your enslavement. You're consenting to that taxation. You're consenting to the wars. Every single time you fucking put your name down and put your name in a fucking ballot box, you're saying, okay, daddy. And then he goes, oh, and fucks you a little harder in the ass with his circumcised Jew cock. That's what happens every fucking time you vote. Don't fucking vote.
Yeah, man. You got me convinced. I mean, dude. Yeah. Shit's crazy to me how some people. I mean, you got.
I like the Coca-Cola flavored retard.
You got tons of dead voters, though. You know what I mean? I mean, how many people voted?
Just the goddamn show, bro. It's like this is what's gonna get this show strike. We've said all kinds of wild shit, but I'm gonna say this right here and right now. Okay, so Donald Trump had the most voters ever that has ever happened on the face of the planet ever.
I thought that was Joe Biden. Right?
And then all of a sudden, Joe Biden was like, the next day, they were like, wait, no, we've got even more than the more voters that has ever existed ever. And so he even got more voters than anybody else ever voted. And yes, it's more than anyone that's actually registered to vote. That number
is how popular he is, though.
Shitting his pants.
Don't look at it too hard that there's more people that voted than there are people registered to vote. And just no, he won, guys.
That baffled me, dude. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Is this real? You know, like
don't pay attention to the fucking people showing up with fucking ballots that are uncounted
at 3 in the morning. Yeah.
It's just so fucking stupid and people fall for it.
People fall for it, man.
You think
they don't want to leave the comfort bubble, bro. They're comfortable being lied to.
You think they care what you have to say? You think that anything you have to fucking say matters to these satanic fucking pedophiles?
Right.
You're a fucking retard.
Right.
Go vote harder, faggot. Jesus Christ. God damn.
I love it. Yeah, dude. No, like, say it how it is, bro. I love this, man. I fucking love this. I can't, dude. I haven't ever been able to talk with anybody like this. You know that? Ever. Like nobody. Because if you're from here, I mean, there's a lot of people.
Reality stars, buddy. You can say anything you fucking want. These are the uncomfortable, fun conversations that we have on this show.
Yeah, dude. I've found myself watching y'all like so much lately, dude. Like when I'm at work, I just fucking love, especially just you two together, man. Y'all are fucking hilarious, dude.
We have some fun here, dude.
Oh yeah. Well, dude. But yeah, man. Like I said, I do think that these elder gods, these entities that are talked about in, I mean, every fucking story, as far back as you can go. I mean, I do think they're still running shit, and like, perhaps but the thing is, if the Old Testament is just a rendition of the Sumerian tales, and Yahweh is Enlil, and you know, I mean, it's either that or it's, you know, you have the other side to it with Marduk and Semyaza. But the thing is, I think maybe Marduk resonated more with his uncle than his father, than Enki. But then again, maybe they're all just fucked, you know? But dude, yeah, I mean, the thing to me is that how people are all just like, that's satanic. It's like, what? It's like you all give this one name so much power, and it wasn't even a being that it like existed really. You know, same thing with Lucifer being, symbolic for Venus or the morning star. I mean, it was used in reference to a fallen king or something in Isaiah. Isn't that right, Thomas?
I'm loose on that one because I didn't study that one this week.
It's all good, bro. But yeah, dude. And
There's
people
a church around the corner from me, and it's called the Morning Star Church. And somebody fucking came up and was like, I think those guys worship Satan. And I'm gonna have to do some fucking research into it because I was like, yeah, the Morning Star.
Well,
I don't
the
know,
morning
dude.
star
Like,
would be
wouldn't that be
Venus or
Jesus too?
well, the morning star from what I've depending on the interpretation, but that when you would first wake up, that there's this morning star, hence the name, but that's actually a fake sun. It's like pretending to be the sun because it's the first thing you see, and then immediately after you see the morning star, then the sun rises. So the occult rendition that I've heard is that morning star represents entities or just the concept of like wanting to be God or wanting to portray yourself as a false God. And that's the morning star. Oh, that's just
That's
one of
it.
the many interpretations of it.
Okay. Yeah, dude. But yeah, man, no, we're being scared. Well, not us, obviously, but humanity is being scared into submission right now. You know? But if people like us can get out there and even, if no one, 2 people, 3 people watch what you put out, man, that's really what I'm out here like, dude. I don't care about making money. Like if I do eventually, that's great. I hope that everyone I work with can make money and that I can help them gain. Like I hope I can help y'all gain more followers, dude. Like I just really want to be part of the conversation and like part of the community. You know what I mean? And I don't give a fuck about really like. I mean, it sounds like bullshit, but like making any, I just want to put content out there, so people
Tiffany,
can.
Satan means adversary.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's
Tiffany asked a question here. She says, question, doesn't Satan in Hebrew just mean accuser or something like that? And we talked about that earlier, that even in some biblical text or extra biblical text, there is multiple Satans. And so it just
Yep.
means the adversary or the enemy. And so there are probably multiple adversaries and enemies. Like I could look at Klaus Schwab and call him Satan. I could look at Hillary Faggot Clinton and call her Satan too. So
Yeah.
probably both of. And dude, honestly, Donald Trump is fucking Satan. Fuck you, Donald Trump. We just lost 10 followers right here.
Well, dude, I mean, really, dude, what you have like Temple of Diana, Cult of Osiris, Cult of Abraxas, like all these different like mystery schools where they worship these different deities. Like you have one Church of Satan. You know what I mean? So all these people, if they're worshiping,
Ooh, and the one that really believes in that shit, they go by the Temple of Set. The ones that aren't
Michael
Michael
Latino and all that shit,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, dude. And that goes back to Set being a son of Marduk. If you take it back to the Sumerian writings.
Yeah, the only Satanists that aren't just atheists, like flipping off like Christian morality, are the Temple of Set. Those are the only ones that I'm aware of that are like theocratic or like actual Satanists that believe that like Satan is there's a true entity, right? Because the majority of like the Satanic Temple or the Church of Satan, they're just atheists that like to thumb their nose at.
Yeah, they're just narcissists.
Christians.
Yeah,
just
they're
worship
just
of self. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. But when you really get out there, especially with the symbolism put out in the mainstream by these like, musicians and people in Hollywood, like if you think about it, like all these people probably belong to these different orders. They practiced different rites. They had different rituals, like, you know. However, I do have a theory that most of Hollywood stems from the same circles of bloodlines. You know, or the same. I guess you could say bloodlines, or you could say, like, they marry into certain families. Like, you have certain families with last names where people will all change their last name, so they're not all looked at, as a big powerful family. It's like, why? I get stage names and stuff, like, but I don't know. It's just odd to me.
Well, Hollywood's also not that old, so it's one
Right.
of the few places where there's all these dynasties and legacies where you can trace it back. Like,
Right.
give this
Right.
another 200 or 300 years, it'll be nearly impossible.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
I mean, it's
dude,
the same thing with all the presidents too,
if every single Hollywood actor and every single news reporter, all the big ones, and everybody that owned every single corporation, if their last name ended with Steen, if it all ended it with Steen, wouldn't we? They have to make it less obvious.
Yeah, basically. No, you're right. I mean, dude, that's crazy. You
If
said
they
that.
were all Goldberg, then we'd be like, wait, what?
Changing last names. I mean, the perfect example with the Bowers changing their names to the Rothschild, like, or, the Habsburg was Saxe-Coburg Gotha bloodline changing, the Habsburgs changing their names to the Windsors and all that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's all deception, dude, however you look at it.
Well,
But
dude, I'll just address something here. It's like we've been talking to a number of fucking guests that have been pointing fingers at Jewish people for like the last like several fucking weeks. And dude, I think it's much bigger than that. And I think that it is more families than it is a fucking people. I'm not blaming fucking people that own a fucking deli and make
You're
fucking
right.
sandwiches. Like I'm not pointing at fucking people that believe in Yahweh. I'm pointing at there. I think there's several fucking bloodlines and families that pretend to be Jewish but don't fucking believe in Judaism, that have ancient and weird fucked up religions that we were talking about, like Enki and Enlil kind of fucking religions, like
Yeah.
fucking religions that
Ancient
like
Phoenician,
don't
Canaanite
fucking
religion.
exist. Yeah, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, any of those things. And I think these people have some fucking dark lineages and some dark fucking bloodlines that are protecting some dark shit. And I'm not fucking saying every fucking Jew is a fucking evil person. That's some fucking bullshit. That's some more divisive fucking bullshit. And because I've got a couple fucking emails and comments that are like, you just hate everybody that's Jewish. I don't. Hey, look at this fucking schnoz and tell me I'm not a little fucking Jewish. I've got like my dumb cunt sister send her fucking blood to the genetic fucking people, the 23andMe, the genetic fucking collectors.
I've
You could be self-loathing, though.
I could be self-loathing, right? I could be a self-hating Jew.
I sent my DNA too. I think they cloned me.
Me too, but I got mine taken when I went into the military, so I've got an excuse.
There you go. No,
I didn't
dude,
pay
it's
them; they
bad.
paid me.
I was telling you earlier, Nate, how I was, raised Jewish or whatever until, I was 13, and then I became an atheist for 10 years. And then I now, I'm a follower of Christ, but, like me and you talked about, more of like the esoteric Christianity teachings, the stuff that the Nicene Council removed from the Bible, because they didn't want humanity to find out about it, because if they did, they would mentally break free, I think, from the whole control system. Because I think that's all why, if the creator of our universe did send his consciousness here at all in the Christos form,
and the whole idea of God being love. And what if you weren't looking at God as an entity, but saying that love is God? To love is being godly. Like, what if?
Right.
Yeah, there's so much more to it. Yeah. No, absolutely, man. I do. I think Jesus Christ was an amazing person, and that is why I've chosen to call myself a Christ follower
Right.
more than calling
Exactly.
myself a Christian.
That's what I've, that's what I've come to the conclusion about too, man. Because I mean, when I was an atheist, like, I mean, dude, I grew up listening to a lot of fucking death metal too, and a lot of like underground fucking Memphis rap, like some very dark shit, dude. Like intentionally dark shit. And it just put me in bad positions in life, and just, like I was saying, bad energy, low frequency shit. And regardless of what kind of spiritual connection I made when I did, like I was saying, because we had talked for a few minutes before we started, back in 2018, like, dude, my life is so much different just from having that, like, what I call Christos or Christ energy in me, that I found just from being in the dark for so long, that like I looked for something else. I actually had a lot of people pray over me in 2018 after I'd had a bad wreck, and it made me break down, in tears, man. I mean, it fucked me up. I had never had people pray for me like that, much less broken down and cried in front of people.
At the height of me being a piece of shit asshole, somewhere in my early to mid 20s, trying to have sex with anything with a hole, doing any fucking drug that was available, doing any fucking wild, like, if somebody would have been like, let's rob a bank, I would have been like, yeah, dope.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go, bro. I was fucking wild, dog. We did wild shit. We did dirt. And that's just what we did. We were dumb fucks. It was like, anyways, not embracing that and not fucking celebrating that, and not.
No, dude, but you talk about it, and at least you can talk about it,
But yeah, man, going back to my home church, my mom bringing me back to my home church, and being around a community that had known me since I was a fucking child, and having them fucking lay hands on me and pray for me, knowing that there's a community and people that fucking love you. To me, that's what a community is. That's what family is. Like, have your fucking tribe, man. Like, I Gray Pilled, I don't know if you go to church or not, but I would go, like, people call it church shopping, right?
We do.
You go to a bunch of different churches.
That's non-denominational that we go to.
You can find one that, like,
weeks, but
truly have the Spirit of God in them, that have the Holy Spirit in them, that actually love people.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the most fucking beautiful thing in the world. Like height of COVID, no one was allowed inside of a building, like, at least in Oregon. Like, maybe you guys were a little freer. I know Thomas is in fucking Florida.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fuck around with that shit. But where I'm at
here, we didn't even get it here.
Yeah,
there's no COVID here.
But when you would walk into a building, there was literally, you could not go in outside of a doorstep. You're fine. Inside of a doorstep, you could die. You have to wear a fucking mask on. And I hadn't walked inside of a building that wasn't my house without a mask on in public in almost a year, because that's just what they fucking did. Until eventually I was like, fuck you, and I'm never wearing one again. And then I was a fucking, like, people would look at you like you're a leper and a psycho. But like, I had been going to church, and I had been part of the church, and I had been like part of, like, I'd been part of a fucking church for a long time. I had like been part of like the community and things like that.
Yeah.
And then our church had kind of fallen apart because our pastor had gone to Africa to be a missionary in Tanzania. And so our church had kind of sort of fallen apart. And so I was looking for another place to call home. And we had found a church that we had sort of liked. And my wife was just like she had just become pregnant, and we were just trying to find like a place to call our own. And every single like white non-denominational, fuck whatever you want to call it, like Christ-centered church was so in fear and so fucking goofy that like you had to download a separate app on your phone to register a spot to go to church
Wow.
So that you could go inside of there, and then someone would meet you, but they couldn't shake your hand or get near you. And they had to be 6 feet apart, and they would greet you and be like, "Hi," and they'd have the mask on their face. All right, I'll bring you to your place now. And then they would walk you to your designated island, where you would have to register how many people would be in your. You couldn't have more than 2 people. So me and my wife would sit at our little island that was segregated from the next island, from the next island, from the next island, and you couldn't take off your mask, and everybody had to sit there in fear, and we had to worship Jesus like this with our masks on our face. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, dude? If God exists, he's bigger than any fucking virus. He's bigger than any fucking government mandate. He's bigger than anything that these fucks have to say. And somebody invited me to this weird little fucking church, dude. This weird little church in Vancouver, Washington. So it's one state over. And technically, at this point, if you cross state lines, you have to come back and you have to quarantine yourself for 2 weeks. That's how goofy Oregon and Washington is. And I was like, fuck you. I'm not doing that. So, anyways, we went over there, and there's these little old fucking like shrubby Jews with their little yarmulkes on and worshiping Jesus, and they've got their shofars and they're blasting it, and they're saying Shabbat Shalom, and they're coming over here and they're like, welcome, and they were like hugging people, and everybody's sitting together crammed like anchovies and worshiping Yahweh, worshiping Jesus, worshiping Yeshua, and just like celebrating. And I was like, you know what? These are my kind of people. And they're preaching like that like God is more powerful than the government. God is more powerful than any virus. God is more powerful than any mandate. We need to worship Jesus. This is what we're supposed to do. And that's why I love my church, dude. Those people are fucking amazing.
Yeah,
we had this weird little community. And when my wife was pregnant and she was going to give birth, everybody got together. They grabbed their kippas, and they put money in a hat and fucking passed it around and fucking handed us a wad of cash. You know, and it's a fucking little community that fucking takes care of each other. So, you know, when people say I hate Jews, I don't hate Jews. I fucking love Jews. I love every single one of those fucking Jews that I go to church with. Jews are fucking beautiful, wonderful, awesome fucking people. I hate the elite and the psychopaths that are trying to control us and trying to fucking kill us.
Oh yeah.
That's what I fucking hate.
It's definitely the establishment, dude. You know, it's their fucking, you know, their division is what is causing everything. If people would just learn that, you know, we're really all we need, you know, if we could come together and love, I mean, it sounds gay as shit, you know, but like, you know, love one another, everybody, you know, I mean,
that's what Jesus was actually preaching. And that's why he was an enemy of the state. And that's why the tunnel dwellers killed him.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
he didn't want to put up with that shit. That's why the Pharisees were like, fuck that shit. This motherfucker's curing people on Sabbath.
Yeah.
We're killing crucified. That's what they're doing, bro.
Yeah, dude. Well, they had already known what, you know, he knew that he was going to die before he was even, you know, I mean, he already knew what he had to do. That's when you start talking about, you know, the incarnations of Christ and how all these civilizations, God basically sent his love to all these civilizations to incarnate as these beings who, you know, were all born of virgin births and, you know, had a lot of similarities. And we're basically, you know, I mean, all sacrificed in the end, right? You know, or, you know, martyred or made a religion out of, you know, and that's what, you know, these elites did basically. I mean, was go in there and be like, oh shit, you know, we have all these ancient stories. We could really turn a profit off this shit. You know what I mean? There's no Christ here now to fucking come in here and turn all our tables upside down. And, you know, I mean, you could argue that now that there is, you know, I mean, I think the return of Christ is coming back through people, through consciousness as a whole. You know what I mean? I mean, he may ride down on a cloud, you know, with a sword and fucking, you know, chopping heads off of the pedophiles and shit. But I think he's coming back through all of us.
Maybe
Well,
he's
what if he
coming back
comes
from
back
Yankee
down?
and Enlow.
What if he
Sorry,
just
Tom.
comes and like forgives everybody? What if he's like all the pedos line up and everyone's like, hell yeah, he's gonna chop their heads off, and then he just goes, you're all forgiven.
And one might make that argument.
I don't know, man. I wasn't prepared for that question.
Except Jesus was very clear, very fucking clear. He says, any among you that would hurt a child. It was like better a millstone be hung around their neck and thrown into the depths of the sea than to hurt one of my children.
Right, but he doesn't say that he won't forgive you.
I hear you, Thomas. So that's why before, after you rape a child, you have to immediately after you ejaculate say, Jesus, forgive me, like this, and then you go
you got to do like 7 Hail Marys. And
you have to say Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Jesus full of grace, like this, and then you're fine. And then you're right. Then the loophole's good. They're fine. Yeah.
Well, no, there's an additional loophole, and it's that you have to say grace before you go to town.
You got so there is some rules. So Thomas, you should actually write this in like another paranoid
on the rules.
Like, this is how you get out of hell, bro. So if you're gonna blast a batch and a kid, then what you first have to do is be like, blessing, Hail Mary, Father, Lord Jesus, then blast the batch, then be like, what? So you got to rub your rosary beads after you pull it out of their assholes.
Does the rosary have any less value if you've just used it as anal beads?
If you just pull it out of the child's asshole, then you get
dude.
You use it as it's coming out, you're counting the rosary beads.
Jesus forgive me. Jesus forgive me. Jesus forgive me. Jesus forgive me.
It gets to one of the big ones. It's like,
oh Lord Jesus, forgive me.
I don't know if they make rosaries that big.
Getting all weird, ordering like the extra large rosary beads. They're like, what's this dude doing with these things?
Oh man. But yeah, dude. No, I think we should just listen to each other more and not fall for all the shit that the powers that be are pulling, that they've always pulled, but right now it's the easiest to see it because, and I've noticed this from like learning symbolism and stuff, over the past few years, is that you're able to tell, what's what if you look for the right things. I mean, even if I didn't want to see it now, there's no way I could.
Dude, I find myself looking at normal people and being like, what the fuck? When I saw some bitch and she just had like a shirt on. These are like my wife's friends or some like normal people that I have to interact with, and they have like a shirt that's like rock and roll, and they've got like a cheetah pattern shirt on, and they're like, I'm looking at their house and it's like, like what white people, like the sayings that they have on their walls,
like love, live, love, or some shit. Yeah.
Some fucking faggot horse shit like that on their walls, and then they're just like they're watching just normal television shit.
Or like some shit on HD TV where it's
what's that, Thomas? What's the homo thing where they they're making dresses? You know what I'm talking about? They're like, it's a bunch of queers that are like fashion runway show.
RuPaul.
RuPaul's even more base though. I'd be like, okay, cool. At least we're watching Queer Eye.
Project Runway.
Yeah, they're watching the Project Runway, and then they've got like a riding with Biden thing on the back of their car, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh,
these people exist, and they're fucking eating like I don't know, like Beyond Burger. Like, not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. They're legit. Like, oh yeah, no, we like they're actually really yummy, and they're barbecuing Beyond Beef and shit.
Yeah,
these people fucking exist, dude. And if they are actually real, if they are fucking real,
I don't know if they are.
Is there a difference between that and NPCs? Like, how much do we like? Are they like? does God care if I kill one? Because they're not real, right?
I don't know, man. They
can't
don't
be
seem
real.
like
They're not
people have
fucking.
to kill 'em,
These
dude.
people don't have a soul, right? Like, how does this work?
They're just
No,
homunculus.
man,
That's all it
They're
is.
just homunculuses, dude.
they
Like,
are.
I swear
I
to
was
God,
just
they're a
about to
glitch in
say.
the Matrix. They are like that fucking meme of an NPC. I don't think it matters. Like, if I socked one in the face, they would just look at me shocked. And then if I walk away, they would just go back to like cooking their burger, and they wouldn't even fucking.
No, dude, yeah. It's like you close you know, you close your eyes for a second and they're gone, you know. Then you open them back up and they reappear. You know,
Holy
they're not
shit!
there really.
Tiffany goes, I try to Beyond Burger in my air fryer. That is the most NPC sentence I've ever read in my life. We love you, Tiffany. Don't
Fuck
ever
my
do
life.
that again. Yeah, I don't care what you do, guys. Go eat. Just don't eat bugs and don't eat children.
Don't eat bugs. Yeah. Own something and be happy.
How there was
you
this one. So this came up on a recent unrelated show, but in Star Trek, I don't know if you guys ever watched Star Trek, but in Star Trek, they've got this technology that just creates food. You just go up to
The
a machine
replicator.
and
Yeah.
the replicator, and you just say, I want a burger, and it just goes and a burger shows up. So hypothetical, you see that the replicator is connected directly to the sewage system on the ship. So Nate walks in and they're like, oh, sorry, we're all out of, molecules to create your burger. You see Nate walk into the bathroom and you see him walking out doing like one of those like, oh yeah, like battle just happened, right? And then all of a
But
sudden
that-
the replicator is like, oh, there's molecules for the burger, and it shows up, right? So you got the burger in front of you. Do you eat that burger or do you eat a worm?
Dude, that is true. That is exactly, yes. We love you, Tiffany. The Next Generation was badass. I'm a hardcore fucking Trekkie. I've watched every series.
So you know that
except for
is
the
how
new
they
shit.
work.
But that is,
I mean, I
that
guess
is
you would eat the
supposedly how
worm
it
because
works.
it's alive.
It's shit. All of the things coming out of the
Yeah.
replicators is the
So
waste.
do you eat shit or do you eat a worm
You
or a
could eat
grasshopper or a cricket, whatever the hell you want to fill in with?
both. I mean,
In this world, if I'm on a ship,
Are you
I'm
Klaus
eating
Schwab
that
or
shit.
you Elon Musk here?
I guess I must. I don't know.
So you're eating shit.
Yeah, I guess I'm eating shit. But I
Sweet.
mean, if I ate worms, that'd be the same thing, right?
I mean, I guess
love-
if you dial it back far enough, isn't it all the same, right? All just
I
molecules.
Well,
love
same
the fucking
place,
world
yeah.
that we're in right now because I don't know how many people have been paying attention to this. Like you have Klaus Schwab supposedly on one side is the bad guy, and then on the other side you have Elon Musk is supposedly a savior, but Elon Musk just went to Auschwitz with Ben Shapiro, and they just went and had a fucking like a fucking shindig, and
I don't
they're
eat
like.
gross.
They're just talking about how anti-Semitism is the worst thing in the world, and this
At
this
Auschwitz,
goofball bullshit. And then
that's some
then
drifting ass shit, dude.
also for all the truther goofballs out there, Ben Shapiro just made a song with Tom McDonald called "Facts." And it's like facts don't give a fuck about your feelings, bro. And Ben Shapiro's on there rapping, spitting fucking flows. And
No, are you
This
serious?
isn't
So you know what?
you're making this up now.
no,
Stop.
this happened.
No,
It's
no.
real. It's on YouTube
not.
right now. You can see a picture of Ben Shapiro like this with a hoodie, and he's on there looking like he's fucking Eminem.
Is there
and it
any
says,
chance?
"Facts."
Is there any
Facts,
chance that
bro.
Abby Shapiro's on there twerking?
I wish he was, dude, because then you know what? I'm back on board.
Are you
But-
converting? Are you converting that day?
I'm going full Talmudic. If Abby Shapiro's putting those, I'm like that fucking meme. You know the guy pondering the orb.
You're doing Craigslist brisses, right? Showing up
Oh, fuck, man.
showing up with a
No, I
straw.
have to check that out,
Yeah,
dude.
here we go. Yeah, I'm so pissed off that Tom McDonald sells it out. Yeah, Yes, right now, Thomas, look it up right now. Tom McDonald and fucking Ben Shapiro rap on his goddamn music video. The song is called Facts. In fact, we could close out with Facts and Ben Shapiro's sweet rap lines.
I'm actually
dead
I'm on
serious,
a tangent
Tom,
now
it's right here.
looking at Abby Shapiro twerking, and I found an AI website, so I'll be doing this for the next hour.
So in the end, at the end, I think this is what it is. Gray pilled, you need to turn into black pilled, and the Jews always win. That's what this is.
Oh fuck, man.
If Abby Shapiro's throwing them big fat titties, honestly, go to Google, turn off the fucking safe search. You can find some pics of Abby Shapiro's tits. They are fucking fantastic. And you know what? They should win. They win. I give up. I'm done.
They win
Tinfoil
what?
hat off.
What did the tits win?
Have you seen Abby Shapiro's sister's tits are amazing.
I
We
haven't
actually
tried.
had this conversation with Thomas, who we were talking to. We were talking to Corey. God damn it, who were we talking to, Thomas?
Corey
Not-
Hughes?
Yeah, we were just talking to Corey Hughes, and we were having this conversation. He was going hard on the Zionists, he was going hard on the Jews, and it was like, okay, but playing
Gal
Zionist advocate
Gadot.
here. I was like, how about Gal Gadot though? And even he was like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
I heard that one. Yeah, I heard that one.
Just
Yeah,
for half a
wasn't
second,
she in,
he was
like,
like,
the
Zig,
Israeli army?
never mind.
Yeah,
He's
she was
like,
in,
oh, forget
the Israeli
Hitler.
army, wasn't she?
He was
Or-
ready to put on a kippah. He was like, you know
Oh
what?
shit!
That Gal
So he fell in
Gadot.
love.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
Fucking A, dude. Jesus Christ.
yeah, dude. I mean, we may be fucked. I don't know, man. I mean, the whole gray pill thing is really
Maybe
just
Gal Gadot is that bitch that was up in heaven, like screwing people and they were all dying. You know what I mean? Who was that broad, that angelic
Ishtar?
bitch? Yeah, maybe
Ishtar?
Gal Gadot is the re-embodiment of Ishtar, and she goes up there and sucks like all the fucking goy cock until they fucking their life force until they die. Like, because I'm ready to give up. Like, who is she worth it? You're like, all right, Gal Gadot, I'll sacrifice myself to you.
Yeah, they wake up. If they wake up in the next morning and it's not her lover, Dumuzi incarnated, then they are dead. So a lot of motherfuckers woke up dead. You know.
Hashtag Gal Gadot is Thomas. Who's the broad that was the first one that was trying to ride Adam's cock, but she was trying to ride on
Lilith.
top? Lilith, yeah.
Yeah,
Gal Gadot is Lilith. She.
I was
is
still
the
thinking of
succubus.
Hollywood. I'm like, Adam who?
Yeah.
dude. The fact that you just said that reminds me of something. Yeah, you just put that connection together. I think Lilith may have been Ishtar or Inanna. I used to think it was her sister Ereshkigal, the queen of the underworld. If you read the Necronomicon, she's mentioned like she's just a fucking cunt, dude. And basically, there's a myth. It's a Jewish myth. So yeah. In the in the Beit Ha Midrash, and it basically talks about Ishtar being a human woman named Issachar, and how when Semyaza came down with the rest of them, she seduced him or something and stole his wings, or maybe she stole or he told her the name of God or something, and she apparently like ascended to heaven while he fell. And her name was changed to Ishtar. I found that pretty interesting, especially with the connection of Semyaza to Samael, and Lilith and Samael, you know, like when she ran off from Adam, there was some like badass fallen angel on like a motorcycle with a leather jacket, like fucking 10 horns waiting for her, you know, that was Samael or whatever. And he's mentioned in Enoch 2, I think, but in Enoch 1, he just referred to as Semyaza or Samyaza or whatever you want to call him. But I think the Bible, I think that's that whole Mastema archetype or whatever that they talk about, the Satanel or whatever. That's definitely that motherfucker. So, but yeah, dude, crazy times.
Crazy times. Thomas, I just sent you a picture right now on your Instagram. Did you see it?
Oh yeah, I see it. He's wearing like a Dare shirt.
Facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, bro. Can you pull that shit up, Thomas? Do you know how to do that?
The image or the
Yeah.
video?
Oh, either. Either
Dude.
one that you want to fucking send.
Pull the video up.
Let me
If y'all don't mind, I'd love to see that.
I do think it's funny as shit, dude, that we are starting to get like half-ass truther movements that like to me, I love you, Alex Jones, but goddamn, are you only giving us half the fucking story nowadays? Like, as long as it's fucking Democrats, he's willing to fucking talk about it. But if it's fucking Republicans, he won't. You know what I mean? It just, here we go.
You're right.
Your facts don't care about your feelings. I don't care if I offend you. Look at this fucking faggot shit. Yeah, look at it. Look at fucking Ben Shapiro with his fingers. Look at him.
What hoodie does he have on?
It says facts don't care about your feelings.
Oh,
And look how short he is. Look at that little teeny nebbish Jew.
actual
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You said he raps in this too?
He raps, bro. Yeah, he spits some bars.
I mean, dude, fuck me.
I don't know what's gayer. I don't know what that fucking screenshot right there. I don't know what's gayer, this or him and fucking Elon going to Auschwitz. This is the fucking timeline that we're in. And you're
Dude,
telling me this is real? You're
It's
telling me we're not living in a fucking clown world simulation?
what the fuck was that? The
Do you see Anana? What did you say? Look at him. Look at him. Oh my God.
what do you think about him as an artist?
Tom McDonald?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. There he's rapping.
Yeah, dude. No,
Take some notes.
Tom McDonald. I think all of these people are limited hangouts, bro. Like, shout out to my homeboy Kyle Reese, aka Blooded the Brave. I got homies that have been rapping about this kind of shit for fucking decades, and they're fucking fantastic artists, and they make fucking wonderful music. In fact, I reached out to him like when our show was tiny, and we used his show. We used one of his songs as our intro forever, and like we were nobody, and he was like, "Absolutely, use our fucking song."
Fuck yeah.
And someone like him isn't a fucking known name, but Tom McDonald is. Why is that? Tom McDonald's been doing this for like a few fucking years. Blood of the Brave has been doing this for fucking decades, dude. Like, he's the
What'd you say his
shit,
name
dude.
was
His
again?
fucking music is fucking amazing. Everybody check him out. Blood of the Brave.
Blood
Blooded
of the Brave?
Blooded the
Blooded.
Brave. Yeah.
Blooded the Brave.
In fact, we
Okay.
should probably have him back on the show, dude. He's the fucking shit.
Nah, dude, I'll fucking check him out, man.
Yeah,
No, for real.
the intro was his song, It's an Evil Club, and you ain't in it, full of psychopaths who believe in eugenics. It's an evil club, and
shit.
you ain't in it, full of psychopaths that believe in eugenics. Yeah, that was our fucking intro. That was our starting intro for fucking, like, the first season was Blood of the Brave song. He's the
Hell
shit,
yeah.
dude. So to me, the people, I don't want to fucking hate on people that blow up and are successful, because I'm not one of those people that like I don't want to say that everyone successful has to be part of the club or is a fucking
Right.
sellout, because like, dude, I think that hard work and dedication, I think that people can make it and are going to be fucking successful. But I think that people that blow up out of fucking nowhere for no fucking reason, I'm skeptical. I don't
There's
know, man.
usually a reason, but we just don't know it. You know what I
I'm
mean?
skeptical. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, fact. Rap isn't music. And if you
Fact.
think it is, you're stupid.
Fact.
Jesus.
Fucking Ben Shapiro, dude. He's a fucking goofball, dude. We're living in a fucking clown world.
If you're Ben Shapiro, how often are you accidentally walking into the shower while sister's using it?
While your sister's using it every goddamn day.
I left my Yamacon here again. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh boy,
Oh,
I
shit.
didn't mean to walk in here. Oh, my schwanz, it's hard. Look at that.
Oh,
Monster.
fuck, man. That's spot on, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. No, question everything, dude. Even if, it takes breaking that fucking bubble of comfortableness and, like I said, it may suck at first to have to relearn most of what you know, but it's definitely fucking worth it. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth it, in my opinion. Like I said, you can't really unsee anything, but I don't regret any of it. After opening my eyes to certain things, I don't know. It just
Well, dude, at the end of the day, it's not something you should regret. I'm glad that you're awakened. I'm glad your family's awakened. I'm glad your wife is cool as shit. And she was like, check out Bohemian Grove and all the fucking psychos that are in charge
yeah,
of this
dude.
fucking place. Because otherwise you could have a bunch of fucking queer, like, dude, I know a guy that fucking woke up and his fucking wife didn't. And they got a fucking divorce because he was like, no, I'm not taking the vaccine. No, I wouldn't be cool if the kids turn trans. No, I don't think that any of this fucking shit is normal. No, this was a real fucking thing because like, goddamn, dude, there are some fucking people that are right now. They're watching Project Runway and are fucking. They have their fucking booster scheduled for next week, and
Yeah.
they're ready to fucking transit. Like maybe they're taking their kid to the fucking hormone place next week. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, dude, there's some people that are asleep and are just going to fucking that are going to get along, dude. That are fucking showing up. It doesn't matter as long as they're doing okay at work. I'm working. I'm giving all my energy to my fucking to the corporation that I work for.
Yeah.
All of the hardest work that I do goes towards this corporation and their ends.
Yeah, man.
I don't give the best of myself to my family. I don't give the best of myself to my wife and to my children.
Right.
I give the best of myself to this fucking death corporation.
And it sucks because as fathers, we're expected to, give that very best every fucking day. And yeah, man, shit, I mean, I'm not a perfect father, but I don't think
None of
anybody
us are,
is,
dude.
if
man. You love your kids and you work hard for them and you take care of them and they know that they're loved every day, you give them a hug and a kiss every fucking day, then you are in the top 99 percentile of fucking fathers out there. If you treat their fucking mother like a goddamn queen in front of them and they fucking see that like this is how you treat a woman, you treat them with love and respect, then you're a fucking good father. And that's what fucking counts.
You're right, man.
That's how we change the next generation. That's how we fucking keep them from transing and fucking doing all this wild fucking retarded bullshit. We fucking show them what it is to be a man and how to love another woman, how to fucking treat another person. That's what we fucking do. That's how we save this fucking world, dude.
What if your kid's born with both? You know those instances and like they just decide at birth, they're like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe.
What, the hermaphrodites?
Yeah, like a hermaphroditic kid, and
You
they
love
so
them
I guess you
regardless,
see
man.
which
let's say you do eeny meeny and you pick Eenie, but then like 12 years later they're like, really, I think you should have picked
Mo.
Meanie.
Yeah.
whichever one's longer, you chop off. I guess. I don't know.
Which that I would think it would be the opposite. Whichever one's shorter, you chop off.
Yeah. Okay, that would make more sense. I wouldn't know, man. I forgot that term even existed. Hell, you have it like you have people that believe in over 100 genders right now, but used to you just people would just use the word tranny or hermaphrodite or whatever. But
Hermes, we call them Hermes.
yo, is that where that word came from?
No, I don't think so.
I was like, yo, fuck, man, because I kind of fuck with the Hermetic principles, so I wouldn't
Same
like
root,
We
that.
got
but
someone coming
different
on here
concept.
pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to have some conversations where we talk about Hermetic principles and how they're important. So we have somebody coming on that's going to do like elementary school version of the Hermetic principles
Okay,
to talk.
That's
And
awesome.
that's going to
That's
be
awesome,
fucking
dude.
interesting. Yeah.
That's something that everyone needs to learn, regardless of like what religion you are. Like, I don't know, because Hermeticism's in everything. It's in Christianity, it's in alchemy, it's in fucking everything. What's the best way that you would like, I don't know, introduce this shit to the kids? Like when you have to, like, because I know ignorance is
What
bliss.
I've done with
And,
my son, and maybe I'm going to do it differently with the younger one. But
right.
with my oldest one, because I was younger and dumber, and I was more of an anarchist at the time, I was like, hey, you need to question absolutely everything that you're told. You have to understand that nothing is necessarily fact. You have to understand that everything has an agenda behind it. You have to understand that the people that have taught your teacher what to teach are full of shit. You have to understand that, like, I went deep with this shit and was like, anything that your teacher tells you, it's okay to question, and in fact you should question it. If you have a question, raise your hand. And and this is something, and I even told him, I was like, if I say something and you don't, if you have a question, ask me, question me. Don't necessarily believe anything that I have to say. Like, we can dig into it and we can talk about it. And that was a big thing. I was like, hey dude, are you interested in something? Then let's go look it up. Let's go to the fucking library. Let's look it up. Let's find the beginning. What does that fucking word mean? What's that thing that you're interested in? And one of the biggest things that I would say right now, especially that I think is the most important thing, is keep your kids out of government indoctrination camps. Keep your kids out of fucking school. Keep your kids out of the fucking government public schools, because they definitely have propaganda, indoctrination, and a plan for your child to become a good citizen of this fucking world. Whatever this fucking thing is, they want your child to participate in this fucking society. They want that in their fucking world. And I don't want my child to fit into their society. Fuck you. Fuck everything about you. Fuck everything that you think is right. Fuck everything that you think is normal. Fuck your normal. Fuck your voting. Fuck your leaders. Fuck your government. Fuck everything that you're about. I want my child to be an intelligent, inquisitive individual that has interesting things to say, interesting questions, that actually wants to know what the fuck. Like, so take your child. And, this can be done in wrong ways too, because I've known some fucking weirdo homeschool kids. But I'm expecting every single person that listens to my show is an intelligent, inquisitive, interesting person that cares about what is the actual truth. I was raised in a very fucking hardcore Orthodox Christian fucking community that believed in very, like, this is the box that we believe in, and there's nothing else besides this box.
Yeah.
Question the box that you're in.
Exactly.
Now, don't throw the box out just because there might be a reason why you're in that fucking box. Maybe that's like, don't question all the wisdom from your parents. my mom is fucking brilliant and fucking wonderful, but she's also a fucking dumb Zionist cunt. And you know what I mean? And so take chew the meat and spit the bones.
Yeah.
Follow your goddamn heart and raise your kids to be smart, inquisitive. Let them ask those questions. Let them be those annoying little shits that be like, but why? But why? Like,
Right.
here's why. Come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about why.
And I'm real honest with my son, man, because I'd rather him find out that, you know, what I could perceive as truth from me or what's, you know, than from some fucking other kid in his school or, you know, some shit that he sees on fucking YouTube shorts, you know. Because that shit is real bad right now, man. Like kids with electronics, it's nothing like it was when we were younger. And I know you two are a little older than me. I'm 31, but you know, I mean, dude, I didn't have a fucking Nintendo 64 till I was like 12. You know, before that, I played like Solitaire on Windows 98 and fucking, you know. Then I got a PS2 and it came out, dude. Like, I don't know if it's just because maybe when, you know, I was so young when I had my son that, you know, I wasn't fully prepared to be a father. I was still kind of learning how to be one. And I would, you know, sit him in front of a video game or a movie or, you know, but over time, especially I think with COVID, with all the kids having to stay home and basically be homeschooled, like, just fucked a lot of kids like motor skills up and a lot of kids like, you know, ability to go outside and fucking ride their bikes and not constantly have like what's it called, instant
Instant gratification.
yeah
Instant gratification, dude.
from absolutely fucking everything, dude.
Fucking kids
You know?
too, though. That like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the parents that didn't let their kids go out because, like, I remember this was a fucking thing. So my son was probably about like he's 16 now. He was probably like 13, maybe in the height of that 12. I don't know, somewhere right when that shit was popping off, and it was like you would talk to parents because there were some parents that'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not letting my kids out right now." Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Where you had to like arrange things. Where
Yeah.
it was like because like as a parent, you're like, oh, well, my son wants to go over to your kids' house or your kids welcome to my fucking house. And they were like, well, do you guys wear masks? Are you vaccinated? You know what I mean? Like,
Has anybody been sick the past 2 weeks? Has any
yeah,
did he quarantine
weird, like,
14 like yeah.
question, faggoty thing. Like, at my house, they were like, I don't give a fuck. In fact, if your kid's vaccinated, I'm more hesitant about letting him inside of my house.
Right. It's like if he has COVID, bring him on over.
This is when you found fucking real people when they were like, because I was like, hey, we don't wear masks in my house. We don't play that shit. They're like, oh, thank God. You know, this is when you found fucking like actual humans. They're like, okay, yeah, we don't play that shit. Dude, I remember when there was like actual fucking like parties and shit, like people's like like kids' birthday parties and shit. When you were trying to invite kids over, and they were like, you guys are gonna meet in person? Yeah, retard. We're gonna meet in person. We're gonna have fucking piñatas. We're gonna fucking drink some beers. We're gonna have a fucking good time. It fucked up. My mom turned 70 in 2020. And I was trying to have like a big goddamn shindig for her. You only turned fucking 70 once, right?
Yeah.
And the world fucking ended, right? That was when the world fucking ended. And I just remember we had like a Facebook invitation, right? Where you're doing like a Facebook invite with all of her fucking friends. And then people were just like, how many people were just like, yeah, we're not going to be attending.
Right.
Right. And at the end of it, like there was like 2 people that messaged me like, but privately, and were like, yeah, we'll come, you know, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we didn't even have a goddamn real fucking party for my mom's 70th birthday. I fucking cooked her steaks and we fucking hung out because everyone was a fucking faggot. Because at the end of the day, they fell for the government propaganda saying that the world was falling. Yeah. The world is falling. The sky is falling.
Right. Yeah, dude. You really got to see during that time, especially with social media, man, because I only have Instagram. I'm sure I'm gonna have to fucking make a Twitter and all that shit, and that's fine. But I was hesitant on even making a TikTok because of the Chinese government. And then you're like,
TikTok's so
well,
gay,
our
dude.
government already fucking knows everything. They know what size my dick is. They can see through my walls with my fucking Wi-Fi.
They
Like
don't
all
care.
this shit.
Yeah, at this point, dude, it's like you have to fucking like I was all goofy and I was like, there's no way I'm having any of these apps on my phones. And then I'm like realizing that like, well, my phone's in my house. And so do you also have like a fucking Fire Stick, or do you have a fucking Roku, or do you have any sort of streaming device? Do you have like it?
Do you have a cell phone?
Everyone's spying on you.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how big your dick is, or how sweet your wife's pussy is, or what your kid's ass looks like. It's fucked up and disgusting. But all these fucking pedo freaks, they know everything about you. They know what you look like. They know your fucking face. They know your gait when you walk. They know the shape of your fucking ear. They have every single one of your biometrics. They have your DNA, whether you like it or not. And all like at the end of the day, there's no more fucking hiding this shit. Like I used to be one of the and I still am in my heart. I'm Ted Kaczynski, a non-violent one, but like I think Uncle Ted was right. We should all just go hide in a fucking cabin in the woods and fucking say fuck technology and jerk off into a sheet or whatever he fucking did. But dude, at this point, the fucking egg's cooked.
Yeah, man.
The fucking egg is cooked. The internet has everything about you on it. So you might as well not fucking hide it. Let your freak flag fly and fucking call out everything that, like, be you at this point. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember like there's a couple people in my family and like a lot of my friends, unfortunately for the punk rock movement, a lot of those people who grew up like that, basically went against everything that they fucking grew up, singing about.
Well, there's nothing more punk rock than voting for Hillary Clinton.
Right. Yeah. Nothing more punk rock than listening to Dr. Fauci. And a couple people in my family, and man, it was hard at first to, ignore the dumb shit they were saying and just kind of fucking, but they all know now, my views on things. And, I mean, the biggest thing is the whole Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, dude, it's fucking, it's real.
Dude, those homos have me defending Trump.
I know.
Like
I don't like the guy that much.
Fucking Zionist queer bait. That fucking fat bitch-titted retard. And they're having me defend him left and right because they're like, did you see what Donald Trump had to say? And then I'm like, just calling out their hypocrisy has me defending that fucking orange pedo.
You're like, but have you not seen the fucking hundreds of emails from Hillary? It's like, oh, that's fake. It's like,
or they don't care. I talked to my sister.
I
talked to my fucking sister. They're like, yeah, but Donald Trump. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the fucking diary.
Dude, do you know
of Ashley Biden? Here's Ashley Biden's diary saying that Joe got in the shower with her and she thinks that she was molested, and that she was 13 years old and he was getting in the shower and touching her and shit and saying all this wild shit. And then I'm like, okay, but what about this? And she goes, yeah, but it's not Donald Trump. Okay, fuck it. All right, yeah, that's what we're doing here. It's not. You're right. It's not Donald Trump. He fucks his 13-year-old daughter. All right, but it's not Donald Trump. So
right, yeah, dude. I don't get that for a second, dude. But some people, they're literally gonna have to see like the whole fucking Democratic Party in person unzip and like fucking peel their skin back.
And they still won't care. I've actually fucking played that devil's advocate with my cunt dumbass sister. I'm like, okay, here's Joe Biden. He's pulling his cock out. He's putting it inside of a 2-year-old boy. And then he fucking takes off his mask. He's a reptile wearing a yarmulke.
Still not Donald Trump, though.
You have to vote for Donald Trump. Which one? Which one? She goes, what? Not Trump.
Oh,
That's what it is. You're like, I guess I'm voting for the reptile child.
Oh,
Like
I
she
know.
doesn't give the never Trumpers, dude. You can put any fucking scenario. They're like, well, it's not Trump.
You're like, dude, all because he said grab him by the pussy. You
Even
know,
when they're pulling out the fucking Thomas, what are we talking? The rosary beads.
Mhm.
dude,
Joe
I grab
Biden
my
pulling
wife
out
by the
rosary
pussy
beads.
every day. You know, like that shit was amazing to me. Just because I'm like, dude. I mean, y'all are really. Do you not see how George Bush is supporting Biden? You know,
But
like
at the end of the day, it is just the indoctrination. They've been told 2 + 2 = 5. And
right.
that's what it is. So they're like, okay, Joe Biden might sniff and diddle kids, but he's not Donald Trump.
George Bush may have done 9/11, but he may be a better person now. You know, his
They
dad
may
died,
have been
and
dancing Israelis, but Israel is our greatest ally. They may have sunk the USS Liberty, but they are our greatest ally.
right. Yeah, dude. Fucking the seed of Crowley, man.
It's
Old Bush.
goofball bullshit, dude. It's one of those things where Yuri Bezmenov was talking about the people that were indoctrinated, that they will literally have their heads pressed against the wall and are about to be shot, and they will still defend the
fucking the brown shirts, man. I mean, the day after the Nazis were done with them, they took them back behind the buildings and fucking killed all
shot
of
them
them.
and killed them, dude. The
Yeah,
useful
man.
fucking idiots.
That's
And they
what
were
this
still
government will
defending
do
him.
to these leftists.
Well, you know what? Hitler was a good guy, though. I mean, he's doing what's right as they're getting shot in the fucking head. Stalin knows what's good for us.
As they're getting shot in
Biden,
the fucking head,
maybe Ashley Biden was asking for it. Why was she showering at 2 a.m? She was getting naked in front of her daddy. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
why
Like,
did she leave the door unlocked? That fucking slut.
People
You know?
fucking really said that she was asking for it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully not.
Dude,
I mean, if you push these people, they might fucking go there.
that's just some shit, man. I mean,
I don't put anything past these fucking retards.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. It has gone full fucking retard by now. Like, just and it, like I said, it's to the point where it's like, yeah, I could sit here for an hour and explain this to you and explain, like, these fucking, these societies that go back hundreds of years that all these people are a part of, like, if they're not in the fucking Club of Rome, then they're a Knight of Malta. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I could sit here and explain it to you, but in the end, I'm wasting an hour of my fucking life because you're still going to go, but Trump.
And they're going to fucking vote.
After I just explained to you how the Rothschilds stole the fucking, the monetary system through the Napoleonic War.
Instead of waking up and realizing the problem with power and the people that are in power, and instead of going and hanging your local pedophiles, instead of like going and seeing who the fuck is in charge, who fucking passed that? Who passed that fucking unconstitutional law? Who said that? Like in New Mexico, that kind of a governor, whatever her fucking kind ass name was, where she was like, "Hey, you can't carry a gun within this part of New Mexico, that county." Thomas, who the fuck is the governor of New Mexico? What's her name? Gruesome Newsom, right? No.
Sure, I guess. I thought it was Kristen Sinema.
Chris, I don't think it's Chris.
I'm gonna say that was Gavin Newsom. That's
Gruesome Newsom. Yeah, you're right. It's maybe it is. Anyways, whoever that fucking bitch is like in charge of fucking New Mexico, she was like, "Hey, you can't have fucking guns in Albuquerque." Any of those people, any single time somebody passes some fucking unconstitutional law, instead of like showing up and then people are going to say I'm encouraging a January 6th, but like, to me, January 6th was such an inside job and such a fucking faggot bullshit. Like, I like joking in Minecraft. Is January 6th was real? Somebody would have fucking gang raped Nancy Pelosi, chopped off her fucking head, and thrown it down the stairs.
You're damn right.
Not one fucking. We didn't have one dead politician.
Dude, every
Not
one of
one
those
dead
fucking people would have
politician?
been armed. Every one of
But,
those
like-
people would have been armed.
Yeah, Mike Pence would have fucking been hung. He would have
Yes.
been. He would have been skinned by hanging by his big toes. They would have chopped his dick off and shoved it up his fucking ass if it was real. This is fucking fake faggot Zionist fucking bullshit. They're trying to tell us that this such fucking bullshit. They're telling us this
bro.
was an insurrection, gayest insurrection ever.
Gayest insurrection ever.
More dead politicians in Minecraft.
More
Wait,
faking
wait,
gays
wait,
in
wait.
space, maybe.
Fuck. Pieces of shit, fucking faggots. That was an insurrection. Fuck you.
But the whole year before, you know, the whole year before, just watching the country burn, dude, and no one do a fucking thing about it. Literally watching black-owned businesses, like these black folks that have owned their business for over 70 years, that was passed down to them from their like great grandmother who was a slave. You know what I mean? You got white liberals who have trust funds burning those places down. You know what I mean? And then going the next day and fucking kneeling, going next day and kneeling for them like a fucking pathetic ass bitch, dude. Like, to get on your knees for another man, you might as well suck his fucking dick too while you're down
And
there.
they
You know
did.
what I mean? Like, that shit, man. And black people hate it, dude. I'm sure they're like, the ones that aren't like fucking grifter, you know, Al Sharpton, grift desk, whatever. Like the ones I know, they'd be like, man, get the fuck off the floor. You know what I mean? Like, get your white ass up. You know, like
While
that's
you're
what
down
it's
there,
like.
actually suck my dick.
Oh yeah, or you can suck my dick, bitch. You know, but like, yeah, dude, that shit was crazy to me though.
Yeah, some goofy bullshit, dude. We are in clown world.
We'll see what 2024 brings, man. I mean, how can it get any? I mean, what else could possibly?
I don't know, dude. I mean, at this point, I'm just like, I'm going to comment on it. We're gonna have some social commentary. We can pop some popcorn. Maybe I'll crack open another Four Loko, and we're gonna have a good time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's all you can do. And my schizo audience loves it and appreciates it, and I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining us on our wild ride. We have a fucking blast, and I love every single one of our listeners and everyone that's along for the ride, dude. You guys are the hardcore fucking vanguard. We are the last of the non-faggot retards in America.
For sure, dude. No, dude, thank y'all so much for having me on, bro. Like,
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
dude, you have no fucking idea. Like, this really helped me more than anything. Like, you know, I'm not used to getting out here and talking to fucking anybody. You know what I mean? But like, if I want to do what I want to do, you know, I'm gonna have to, you know, I have to start somewhere. So, you know,
Welcome
dude,
to all the
even if-
government lists.
Yeah,
Well,
dude.
dude.
You are on a list now that you have been on our show.
I know.
So there you go.
Oh yeah, hope you weren't
are
planning on
a-
flying anywhere soon.
No, I knew. I told my wife beforehand. I was like, yeah, just so you know, maybe on a couple lists. She was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. But oh, dude, as soon
You
as I
talked to
get
the self-hating juice pick right here with this tinfoil hat on, and you talked to Thomas, the Illuminati confirmed CIA asset. So now
Right.
you're definitely on every list that is possible.
I mean, dude, I had somebody on y'all's Instagram tell me the other day how I was sucking the faggot Freemason dick.
Oh yeah, that's one of my biggest fans. I don't
And
I
I
don't
was
know
just
who
like,
it is, but yeah, that's one of my fans.
I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, I think you're the one that's on their nuts. bitch.
We
It's
are
you know.
part of the Illuminati. Apparently, we're also Freemasons. We're also Thomas. What else are we? He put us on
Catholic choir boys or something.
Catholic choir boys getting butt fucked.
That was another one. The Catholic, the Catholic and the Freemason, and I'm like,
we're Jesuits. That's what I was.
Yeah. She left a couple. I was just like, okay, fuck you. I was like,
I don't know when I'm getting the fucking check, but hopefully soon. So
I've had them all sent over to me actually.
First, I didn't think they were real at first. I was like, are you even real? Like,
oh, they're real.
No, if anyone ever tries to fucking say some shit about y'all, dude, you'll probably see me in y'all's comments telling them to come fight me in Mississippi or some shit. So I always got y'all's backs, man. Don't worry.
It's just a bot anyways, so you can't really fight back against it that much.
I'll be fucking punching the computer.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, we've been on for a little over 2 hours, so why don't you tell our audience what's your fucking screen name? Where can people go and follow you on Instagram? Where can they follow you on YouTube? And then also, what's your show going to be called?
Well, it's just going to be called Gray Pilled. There is one out there called The Gray Pill. I don't know the guy. He's only made like 3 episodes since July, but but it's Gray Pilled Podcast is going to be, the name of it. Instagram is just, Gray Pilled _podcast. You could probably easily find my Instagram trolling leftists and, pissing some people off on there. It's actually pretty amusing sometimes. But YouTube, Gray Pill Podcast, GREY, not GRAY.
Yeah, because that would be gay.
That would be very gay and fake. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm waiting on. I had somebody making a logo for me, dude, and it looked like shit, man. And it's just my son and my wife fucking laughed at it. So I was like, yeah, okay, well, I'm not gonna put that out there.
Well, dude, I want to fucking shout out. I don't know where the fuck Bags is gone. Bags, where are you, bro?
Oh, so you got a homeboy?
I'd have Bags fucking make your logo. I would fucking send you over there. Bags made our logo. Bags has made 1 million logos.
Dude, yeah. If anyone out there makes logos, whatever, man, hit me up because, yeah, the shit I asked for, it just looked like a fucking joke. I was just like, what the fuck? So I'm waiting on that, and I'm gonna put a few episodes out and see how it goes from there, man. But like, I'd love to fucking have y'all on, for whatever, or just to have like a swap cast, or we could do this again. But
we are absolutely available, buddy. We'll make it happen. So yes, we would be happy to be guests on your show.
Yeah, man. Also, shouts out Juan and the Homunculus, the Homunc Boys. Shout out the Occult Book Club, and shouts out Esoteric Eddie and Tomcat from Strange Brew Podcast.
Dude. All friends of the show here, dude.
For sure, man.
All fucking friends of the show. And in fact, I think that's how we're closing out. We are going to show an ad for The Chosen One, his second fucking comic book that is coming out, produced right here by my friend Thomas, the Paranoid Motherfucking American. He has published it. And so shout out to Juan. We love you, buddy. One-on-one podcast. Juan's going to be on the episode tomorrow, actually. So everybody watching tonight live, I think we're going to probably put it on Rumble because I'm pretty sure YouTube will fucking get rid of us. But anybody that wants to watch the free cast, we're gonna fucking live stream it to Rockfin. For the folks that want to support us and pay for us, that's awesome. We love you. But we also want to put out a free version, so we're going to put it on Rumble, and we're going to do a very fun episode, and Juan is going to be a part of it tomorrow. So, yeah, dude, we love everybody. Thomas, what do we have to promote, dude? Do you want to promote something else too before we throw
just chosenone.com? That's the big one. It's going to be going for the next from February to March, and then hopefully it'll be shipping in April, May.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, Jules, it was awesome to have you on, dude. This was a fun episode. I think everybody had a good time.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
And-
man.
Yeah, dude. You are always welcome back, and we would be happy to join your show too. And my best advice would just fucking do it.
I appreciate that.
Don't put too much thought in it. Don't like overthink it. Just fucking make it happen, dude. Just fucking do it. And yeah, man. Your first few episodes are gonna be dog shit anyways. They're gonna be terrible. You're gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So just fucking do it. Like just fucking do it and make it happen. And then the more you fucking go, it's gonna fucking be better. It's gonna be great. So
That's what I
do it
expect.
tomorrow, dude. What are you doing tomorrow night? Just fucking make it happen.
Yeah, dude. I was actually thinking maybe this weekend just doing like an hour stream on some shit, maybe on one of these books that I've been reading, or just talking, even if only a few people are listening, it's all good,
No one's gonna listen to the first one. No, like
Hey,
I swear to God, dude, for the first like 50 fucking episodes, they were in like I was stoked when I had 19 fucking downloads.
hell
It
yeah.
was like 19. I was like, holy shit, I'm killing it.
That's what it's
It
all
was so
about.
fucking
In
goofy.
the moment,
And then all of
yeah.
a sudden, like when I fucking broke 100 downloads on an episode, I was like, holy shit, I'm making it.
Dude, and
And
y'all
then
just
all of
got,
a sudden, dude, there's fucking thousands of goofballs that want to hear us talk. And it's fucking fun, dude. Like, it'll happen eventually. So just
Yeah,
fucking
man.
make it happen. Do it. Do it fucking do it tonight. What are you doing? Crack open another beer, fucking turn on your fucking mic, and just talk into the fucking ether and just have some fucking fun.
don't tell
That's
me,
my
man.
fucking
Hey,
that's my biggest fucking advice. Just fucking do it. Just fucking go.
well, I appreciate that, Nate.
Woot Train says, when can I be a guest? Check us out. Woot Train, hit us up, brother. I don't know.
Hit Nate up.
realityzars@gmail.com. Send me
You
a
probably
fucking
won't hear
email.
back from me, but you'll hear back from Nate.
Yeah, I almost at this point, dude, I'm getting so many fucking emails. I have a hard time responding to all of them, but I will eventually. So people hit us up, realityzars@gmail.com. I love every single one of you psychos that sends me an email, even the ones that send, dude, I've had some fucking weird fucking emails that are like, I swear to God, I'm sending this to you right now. And if you don't hear back, it's because the government is going to fucking kill me. And because my ex-girlfriend, she was in the fucking Illuminati and she was diddling kids. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's real or not. Homie, you know who you are that sent me that email. Send me another if you're still alive. Let's talk about it. Let's have you on the show.
Oh,
He was
man.
like, I swear to God, they're coming after me. This is my last chance, and I just sent you this email. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, go with
This
God,
account
brother.
no
I
longer
hope you're okay. Yeah. Anyway, shout out to you, homie. You know who you are, and I hope you're
We'll
okay.
pray for you, bud.
Yeah, we're praying for you. Anyways, yeah, let's close out one-on-one. Everybody go to oneonone.com. Everyone go and fucking buy The Chosen One, his newest fucking comic with paranoidamerican.com. Thank you, everybody. We love you.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosenone.com. Go visit chosenone.com. The chosen one, yes, he is the chosen one. He's got his own comic, and now he's got his own song. 'Cause he's the chosen one, yes, he is the chosen one. Go buy a copy at chosen1.com. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com. It's easy to remember if you just sing along. chosen1.com. Go visit chosen1.com.